Welcome, one and all, to another episode of Collectors Coalition, the shows whose wallets have found the dietary plan that actually works. I am one of your hosts, Christian Bean, and with me is the beautiful, the wonderful, the man who slept through most of Doctor Strange, Mario Bennese.
I did nothing of the sort.
No, you just give me mean stares the entire time.
Because you were making terrible jokes.
I couldn't help myself, man. The movie opened it up for me. Oh. So, we're both really tired tonight because we went to go see Doctor Strange and then we came right here to record because we wanted to make sure it was on time.
The things we do for you people.
It's late. It's like 1 a.m. right now.
I know, it's like 2 something.
I don't know. So
I have a 9:30 tomorrow.
I don't have class tomorrow. I got work at 10 a.m. though. Because, you know, when I don't have school, I might as well just go to work. So how was your week?
Pretty good.
Wow, that's first.
You think you're so funny.
Yes, I do actually. Thank you.
Metallica released another song from the new album on Halloween.
Oh, that's right. They did do that, didn't they?
And it kicks my teeth in.
That sounds painful. I think you want to go see someone about that.
I like it a lot.
Okay.
It's got some definite Iron Maiden influences in it.
Well, that's cool.
So
that's cool.
Sounds like they're going more back to the roots, and I'm really digging that.
That's good.
It's Metallica month for me until the 18th.
Because my biggest complaint with the Metallica's old albums, more newer albums, was definitely that they were kind of straying away from why everyone liked them. They're doing this new wave sound that I never really dug.
Oh, on Saint Anger.
Yeah. I like the song Saint Anger. I hate the album. I like the song. Saint Anger I thought was a cool song. You like everything Metallica because Superman likes everything Metallica. Calm down.
No. Metallica holds a special place in my heart, but I could talk forever about them, so I won't.
On my end, nothing really has happened. I mean, I got my grades back for cold papers. I did fine. Me and you were taking a class together.
Mm-hmm.
We're taking a censorship in Hollywood.
Yep. Apparently the practicum is going to be in Boca this coming semester, so...
I can't take the practicum.
Oh. Okay.
I want to. I really want to take the practicum, but I can't. They won't let me. Not yet, at least.
That's the thing. Oh, remember that paper that I wrote like 15 minutes or 10 minutes before class?
Yeah.
Got an A on it.
Good boy. I'm proud of you. All right. So it's been a light week for us. Nothing really been going on. We've been kind of preparing for Doctor Strange and whatnot, which we will discuss today in a new segment we're calling the Midnight Release toward the end. But first up, let's get to the news. Snow White live-action movie has been announced by Disney because, yeah, that's what we all want. The Girl on the Train writer, God help our soul, is on the recruiting list for the screenplay writers. Well, I already started off on the bad foot forward. The only way it could be worse if it says by Sony.
Yeah, that would make it worse.
It was funny. Speaking of that, I was talking to someone at my job at GameStop, and we came to the realization the only thing that Sony has that's profitable is PlayStation.
Sounds about right.
The only thing they're doing that's right.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I don't dislike their live action remakes. I just feel to where people make the argument that their comic book movies are pumped out. I think there's a level of quality behind most of them that should be appreciated, and it created a new genre. So as much as you want to criticize it, it's very important. Their live action movies, on the other hand, those are definitely pumped out. There's very few that are actually ever quality.
Yeah.
I mean, The Jungle Book was really good.
I liked it. It was fine.
Yeah.
The best part of it was Christopher Walken saying, "I want to be like you."
Excuse you, sir. Bill Murray the bear.
No.
No, don't you?
I want to be like yo.
I actually hated that part of the movie, to be honest with you. I thought
it came out of nowhere.
It did. That's probably a problem with the movie. I don't understand, I understand why they're doing it, but it's systemic of the problem in Hollywood to where there's nothing original anymore. It's just either it's a remake or a rehash of something that already existed. And every time there's something original, everyone's shocked that it did well. And it's this weird mind frame that Hollywood people have nowadays of film that it has to be based on something else. And if it's not based on something else, then it's just weird. Like, I remember talking to someone about Don't Breathe when it came out, and they're like, yeah, I want to see Don't Breathe, but I don't know what it's based on. And I'm like, it's actually not based on anything. It's its own original concept. Oh, that's kind of weird.
What?
It's now weird. The thing is, for some people, it's now weird when a movie's original and not based on anything. Now, Don't Breathe had inspiration, definitely.
Oh, totally.
All film is inspired by something. Just as all films are political, all films are inspired by something. But it's just so weird. We live in a time to where original concept can be considered weird, like weird that it exists. It gets me.
That makes me sad.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like, constantly talking about, we're talking about in here, too, all the reboots and rehashes and remakes and continuations on existing properties. It's just, I feel it's starting to get a little too far now. I think we're starting to hit the bottom of the barrel, and we're getting to the point now to where, what else are we going to do?
Yeah, that's... A lot of it is Disney, too, and I know a lot of other big studios are doing it, too.
I think it's all the studios. I think as much as we want to blame Disney... Okay, yeah, they might be really pushing this train, but they are not.
Well, no, I was going even before this whole thing where everything had to be rebooted and redone. They would do
to be fair,
5 or 6 sequels for a
even
movie.
to this day, Disney is still producing new original content. It's just not as often as I would like to see it. To where every year we would get like 4 Disney movies, and maybe one of them was a remake or a creation from an existing property. The other 3 or sometimes all 4 would be original concepts. But now we've gotten to the point to where we get 10, 15 Disney movies entitled by Disney, licensed by Disney a year, and one of them occasionally is an original concept. And I don't like that flip, because Disney original films, their original animated films, are fantastic. Some of them I could sit here, some of them I've considered writing papers on because they're really, really cleverly done. One of them being The Incredibles. No, that was Pixar. Sorry, Pixar. I don't know why I was thinking Pixar there for a second. I was going to say Inside Out.
That's also Pixar.
Disney Pixar. Disney Pixar means that Disney licensed it with Pixar, so it's a Disney film made by Pixar.
All right.
Most of every Disney animated movie from this point on is being made by Pixar. Because when you have a golden goose like that, you're going to use it.
I miss 2D animation, man.
I don't. I think it was. I think 2D animation existed in the time it did exist in, and I'm glad now that it's moved forward. I know it's a weird thing to say, but I'm glad. It was 2D animation's perfect where it is. We grew on it excellent, and it just makes me happy. I would love to see something that was inspired by that 2D animation style be cool, but I don't mind it. Continuing on some weird news, Rambo reboot in the works with writer Brooks McLaurin and director Ariel Froman. Sorry, the name throws me off. Sylvester Stallone will obviously not be in this movie, for he is 120 years old. Hey, Adrian! The reboot will be titled Rambo New Blood.
Because the titles for all the other Rambo movies weren't confusing.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense at all. I don't...
First Blood, Rambo 2.
This
First
again,
Blood.
the problem with remakes and rehashes, man, and creations. I just don't see the point behind this movie. I don't. Like, Rambo was fine for its time, and even most Rambo movies aren't even that good. Like, there's like a handful of good Rambo movies, and the rest of them are pretty bad.
I really couldn't care less. I mean, it's a thing.
It's not like...
I'm lacking to find the demand for it.
Yeah, same here. Like, I know of people who want to see the film, but I know of like 3 times more who will never go see this movie.
Yeah.
Who have no interest in it. And I just don't see the point behind it. You know? I just don't see the point behind another Rambo movie. It's like if we were to come out and say, hey, guys, I know what you're thinking. Terminator Genesis is bad. But hear me out.
No.
Another Terminator movie.
No.
Another one.
No.
It's like the demand's not there anymore. Like, Terminator's a cool franchise, and yeah, a lot of the problems with the Terminator franchise is that the movies aren't good, but there really isn't a demand anymore. The Terminator films are fine where they are. Leave them be.
Yeah.
And same with the Rambo movies. They're fine where they are. Just leave them be.
Let it be.
Talking about originality, Quentin Tarantino confirms his retirement after 2 more movies. The last true down-to-earth, every movie he makes is completely and utterly either his idea or an original concept we haven't seen in film before. We're finally losing him.
Well, mainstream, that is.
Mainstream, yeah. But, I mean, even then, like, Tarantino, I've always been like, he is the shining knight when it comes to film originality. He's never. I can't think of anything he's ever worked on that has. He's done sequels, but every sequel is something brand new. It's something different. Like, it's something original. And that's what's really cool about his sequels, because they feel like different films. It sucks because, like, it's just a director that I as Mario knows, I love Quentin Tarantino. He's one of my idols in film. I adore his work. I find him he inspires me, inspires my own personal style a little bit. I like what he does. I think he's really, really talented and amazing, and has done a lot for film, especially in this era.
And he loves 35mm film.
I have to respect a man who's willing to make a Western, proper Western style.
No, 70mm, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm thinking old school.
It's sad to hear that he's going, you know. I feel though it's time, you know, what is he like? He's in his 50s now?
Something like that, I guess.
Going in his 60s, and he's what? 2 more movies, not like 10 films made by Quentin Tarantino. 10 films, and all of them, like, the worst film he made was Death Proof, and even that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
For a grindhouse. Yeah. Except for that one girl that was, like, sold off for sex slavery, and they never discussed that again. Remember that?
Yeah.
Traded a girl to get a car. Never saw her again.
That's how that works.
Yeah. Speaking of directors, the Flash movie loses its second director. Rick, hard to pronounce last name.
Famuyiwa?
I don't know.
He's the guy that directed Dope.
Yeah, apparently it's over creative differences. The movie is suspected to be delayed. So they asked the question, will it be delayed or replaced by an already existing movie? Will they move it or delay it?
Probably delay it.
I would say that they would take an older, like, when the movies weren't supposed to come out yet, and they were going to push that up a little bit and push back, put Flash in that spot. That's what I think they would do. I think this might be the perfect excuse for them to, I think they find the spot for the Batman movie.
Yeah, that could be an option.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's definitely evident that, you know, they're like, hey, that Warner Brothers is like, hey, you know, the way we're running this isn't working, so we need to change everything. So that's why probably a lot of these directors are leaving, is because they have to change a bunch of stuff to kind of fix the problems that are had. And a lot of directors are like, but that means my original idea can't be on screens. Like, your idea is not original, dude. It's a superhero film. You know, the way to make originality in superhero films is through shots and through lighting and through design. And
character development.
And character development. And, like, you have to kind of understand that you're not going to get an original story out of it.
It's probably been told somewhere in their existence.
Yeah, and it's not a bad thing. It's just that superhero films require a lot more creative. You have to be creative in different ways, which for some directors is hard, unless you're James Gunn, who's god at it. I like Guardians of the Galaxy a lot.
It's
I think it's excellent. I wrote an entire paper on that film.
I like it enough.
How freaking perfect it is. All right. Continuing on directors who keep leaving, Deadpool's old director Tim Miller announces that he'll be producing the Sonic the Hedgehog feature film. It will be animated for all you weird people who want to see Sonic with, like, as a dude with a six-pack.
God, no.
Running forward.
Please, no. Nobody wants this.
No one wants this. I don't even think Sonic fans want this. There's Sonic fans that want this.
There are Sonic fans.
There's Sonic fans that want this. There's Sonic fans that want a lot of things, and I kind of wish they would stop.
I've seen the Sonic fans on YouTube.
You're friends with a Sonic fan. Begrudgingly, mind you.
But not...
Begrudgingly, mind you.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't care. I could care less about a Sonic movie. You know what's going to happen? One of two things are going to happen. It's going to be canceled or it's not going to be good. Do you know how I know this? It's Sonic. The chances of it being good is slim. It's also a video game movie, which is, as much as I don't like to admit it, people just haven't figured out how to do them right yet.
Yep.
The closest thing we got to a good video game movie is Wreck-It Ralph.
And that wasn't particularly based on one video game.
It wasn't based on video games at all. It was based on
a love letter to him.
Yeah,
right?
it was love. I wouldn't even say love letter to gaming. People try to say it was the what's the film called?
Toy Story?
No, not Toy Story. I can't remember the name of it. It has all these different references in it, but they're just kind of there. It's a superficial. I love Wreck-It Ralph, Wreck-It Ralph's biggest problem was that it, as much as it was about video games, it also was nothing about. It wasn't about video games at all.
Yeah, it had an original story.
It had an original story, but it's not. That's not what's the problem. Is that like everything that related it to video games is all superficial at best.
Yeah,
and it kind of bugged me, but I still like the film. I don't think the Sonic the Hedgehog movie is gonna be very good.
No.
I just it's a character who's never really had a good story. Like, I like the games, but I can't even say the stories are very superficial and very for face value. What can you do, though, man? It's not an interesting... It's like Mario. Mario hasn't really had an interesting story. I mean, there's a couple every here and there, but that's because Mario gets more games than Sonic does. Also,
I thought you were talking about me for a second. I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. I don't do much.
All right, time for news people care about. The actors and actresses who played Misty Knight, Claire Temple, Trish, Walker, Stick, and Karen Page from the Marvel Netflix series from the various Marvel Netflix series are all to return in Defenders.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we all knew it. I just thought we were kind of throwing around whether we wanted to discuss it or not. I just thought it'd be cool to put in because it's happening. We might as well say, hey, this is happening. Yeah. Speaking, going off the comic movies and just going on the blatantly comics, Star Trek: The Next Generation Aliens comic crossover has been announced. The new event will be called Acceptable Losses, and the book will be written by Scott and David Tipton and art by J.K. Woodward. Don't you dare make the Wood joke. I find this to be a weird crossover.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that one. Could be good.
Could be.
I don't think I've read anything by Scott and David Tipton.
I think I might have one, but I don't remember their work. And J.K. Woodward, I can't think of anything that I know that particular. Don't give me that look. I'll punch you. I don't think there's anything I would know that particular artist on. Like, these are people that I don't really know. I have to look them up more later. But yeah, I don't really know any of their work, honestly. Not on the top of my head. It's just fine. It's a weird crossover. I think it'd be cool though. I love Star Trek, and I love Aliens. I especially love Star Trek: The Next Generation. I do love Aliens, so it'll be interesting. Yeah. DC's JLA title enlists Batman, Black Canary, and Lobo as new members in addition to their existing JLA members. First we tell you the characters you don't care about. Now we tell you characters you care about. First we confuse you, then we hook you, and then we announce Lobo.
It's not the first time Batman's been part of a different Justice League team.
The Outsiders were.
Yeah.
It was his team because he didn't believe in Justice League.
Well, he was part of Justice League International in both pre-New 52 and New 52.
Yeah, that as well, but like...
But I'm probably not going to pick it up, honestly. I don't think I will.
I will.
I know you are, because Batman's in it. I just don't
understand why Lobo's on this team. Why? And it's not the older Lobo. The Lobo, it's not old Lobo, and it's not New 52 Lobo. It looks like a new Lobo.
Okay, that's a thing, I guess. I don't know.
I don't really know what they're doing there.
Didn't he have a title for a brief period of time?
God, I don't know. I think
like New 52 title.
Yes, he did have a New 52 title. I didn't,
because I know he had a regular title, but way before that.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, when comics were $1.95.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
In the 90s, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know he was in the 90s. I didn't know he had a comic like that back then. Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. But it comes back to my issue. Why do there need to be two different Justice Leagues?
I don't know, man.
I don't get it.
I
get it for doing international stuff. Europe and international makes sense. But if they're both set in the United States, why?
I mean, JLA, the Justice League of America, was the original Justice League. That was what Justice League was originally. It was just the Justice League of America. Or that's what they were at one point. I just don't understand it. But moving on, the title that's supposed to spawn this title, Justice League vs. Suicide Squad, has announced that it will have a different artist per issue. The first issue will have Jason Fabok. The second issue will have Tony S. Daniel, which is pretty cool. The third issue will have Jesus. Wow, not even a giggle. Marion. The fourth issue will be Fernando Pasarin. The fifth issue will be Robson Rocha. And the sixth issue would be Howard Porter. That's kind of cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I like that kind of like... I like that every issue of a new artist, and they're telling us now it's like, hey, it's gonna be different every time. It'd be cool. I'm interested to see where that goes.
And I know Fabak and Tony S. Daniel have pretty similar styles.
Hey man, you can't go wrong with Jesus.
Yeah. I will end you. I mean, because I know that they're doing this definitely for a trade. 6 issues, that's trade worthy there. It's an event. Suicide Squad and Justice League, yeah. So,
especially because they're not really writing for trade anymore.
Well, they think they are, but they're not.
They're not though. Like they're not really writing for trade anymore. They're writing story arc to story arc, but they're not expecting their story arc to be 12 issues.
Yeah,
which is nice. It's really nice actually.
As long as the art isn't too jarringly different.
I wouldn't even mind if it was like incredibly different per issue. I like that new artist per issue bring a new style to the story every time, as long as the artists are good. So
yeah,
that's a challenge you're taking out. Is the artists good?
Are they?
I think all the artists are good, like and talent wise. But will the artists be good when they do this? And that's the kind of the question that comes down to. All right, guys. News is short, but there's not much we can really say. Next up is the collection discussion. Mario. Let's go from the poll box.
All right, so first off, we got Aquaman number 10, written by Dan Abnett and art by Brad Walker.
It's good.
I liked it.
Yeah, it's fun.
The dog made me happy.
The dog didn't make me happy. I like how it was an issue just about Mira. I like that. There are moments of the issue I'm like, this is really slow. Really slow.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Annoyingly slow.
But it was still good. I liked it.
Yeah, it's fine. I liked it too. I still like the sign. I think it's fun.
Yeah. I like the art.
Yeah, so do I. I think Brad does a really good job. Brad Walker.
Yeah.
I think he's got some talent.
The way he draws Mira reminded me of a person I used to know, but
oh, sad Marios.
Next up is Cyborg number 4, written by John Semper Jr. and art by Will Conrad.
Good. It's a good series. I like it. I like it a lot. The whole like Justice League being in it, they're all in his head. Obviously, that's not actually real, but it's kind of cool. It's cool to see. It's all meant to like try and warp his mind or whatever, and the ending's insane. Like the ending is actually super sad, and the entire book is very sad because it kind of like it. We learned earlier that he had a lover. He broke up with his girlfriend, and then apparently he broke up with her for some other girl, but we don't know who she is. And it's kind of weird. We find out who it is at the end. The feels you get from it's actually hurtful.
Plot twist, it's Batman.
Plot twist, it's Superman. A love relation with the Supes himself. But it's pretty cool, man. It's actually super sad.
All right. Next up is Green Arrow number 10, written by Ben Percy and art by Juan Ferreira.
I liked it. I'm interested to see where issue 11 goes. It had this whole ending bit toward they're like, oh, how the tables have turned, Green Arrow. There's a moment though where Ollie almost loses his bow, and he's like, I can't lose my bow. It's the only thing I have left. And then Black Canary's like, well, except for me, right? And I'm like, oh, you're lucky you guys have some important stuff to do because she's gonna punch you the first chance she gets. But yeah, I feel bad for Ollie, man, because he has lost everything, man. He's just lost everything. Everything's been taken away from him, and it's just not fair. It really is painful to watch. He's just constantly getting beaten down, but he keeps just smiling. He keeps this wit about him, and he just tries to have a good attitude about it. I'm like, I feel bad for him. It hurts a little bit.
Hurts a little. Next up is Harley Quinn number 7, written by Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti. Art by John Timms.
It's stupid, and the only thing that's good about it is because Penguin's in it. I was reading it, and I'm like, I'm probably going to drop this, and then I saw Penguin in it. I'm like, I'll keep it until the arc's over because Penguin's the villain.
That's part of why I kept Suicide Squad, because Zod is in it.
I know.
So I feel your pain.
I just want to drop it already. I'm like, I don't care about Harley Quinn this much. It's a stupid title, and this is a stupid line. But now Penguin's in it, man. I can't drop it. Penguin's in this title. Do you know how often we get a story with Penguin? A lot recently, and that's what I've been finding weird. Because All-Star Batman has Penguin in it as well.
Aha.
That's ending soon. Not the title, but like the current
story.
Yeah.
Next up is Justice League number 8, written by Brian Hitch and art by Neil Edwards. He was right.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not.
Alfred was fun.
Yeah, I'm not too keen on the story, honestly. It's okay.
I'm having a hard time buying the premise.
So am I, and I'm having a hard time understanding why the premise even matters. It's just another thing to break up the team, and I'm like, I don't care at this point. Can we get a new writer, please?
Yeah.
Hitch isn't good. Can we just let's have an honest discussion right now. Hitch is not a good writer.
No.
He is not a good writer. He should not be on Justice League. He's writing Justice League very poorly, and it's honestly getting hard to read now.
I put this off until the day of recording. Like, I usually sit and read all my books in one swoop.
I just read it.
I usually read all my books in one fell swoop. I had to put this one off because it's just like...
I read half of it, went to go see Doctor Strange. I came back and read the rest of it because I read half of it. I'm like, I don't care, man. I want to go see this movie. Bye. Came back. I'm like, oh, that's right. I still don't care. He's a terrible writer. I don't like his characterizations. I don't like his stories. I don't like anything about this title. It's so dumb. But Batman's in it, and I have to keep picking up because of Batman.
Yeah. See, with a Justice League title, you'd think that some big stuff would be going down because these are our first line of defense. But nothing's happening.
Or you lose something interesting will be happening. Like
Nothing's happening.
The story was has intrigue to it. I don't think they're not the first line. I think they're starting to stop events before they become big.
I'd say Green Lantern Corps would probably be our first line of defense because they protect the entire sector.
From anything off Earth, definitely.
Yeah, well, they protect 2814, so...
Yeah, I think the Justice League titles are exactly what they should be. They're big, major issues the entire team has to handle, but they're not yet issues that are going to destroy the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the constant line of, this is going to destroy the Earth, this is going to destroy the Earth, this is going to destroy the Earth. The Earth is constantly shaking because of the Justice League title. I'm like, no... We had one big earth-shattering event, and now the things after that are a cause because of that one earth-shattering event. I think that's cool. I just think it's written poorly. Sorry.
I don't think there's a flowing narrative.
There really isn't.
There's just, okay, here's a 2-issue arc. Here's a 2-issue arc. Have another one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You all complain you didn't get enough short arcs. Here's only short arcs. I'm like, I don't want that though. I don't mind my short arcs. My short arcs are interesting though, and they're just not. Hitch, you're not a very good writer, man. I'm sorry.
You compress your stories too much.
You don't allow your stories to breathe, and even when they do kind of breathe, they're not very interesting. They breathe toxic breath.
What, like Godzilla?
Yeah, like
atomic breath?
No, it's nuke breath, but continue. Oh, no, it's atomic breath. I'm sorry about that.
Ooh, gotcha.
Whatever.
Next up is Nightwing number 8, written by Tim Seeley and art by Javi Fernandez.
You picking this up?
Of course I am. It's Nightwing.
Okay.
Superman's in the next issue.
Is he now?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's on the cover.
Oh, is he? I don't really look at the covers until they come out. It's not my thing. I liked it. Yeah,
it's
sure.
fine.
I think it didn't last long enough though.
No.
I think we needed another issue for Raptor to be developed as a villain. I feel that his whole villain thing kind of ended.
Just kind of, it kind of just came
and
out
his
of
whole
nowhere.
beef with Bruce Wayne was stupid. It was so stupid. It's just so forced. Yeah. It's like, I don't like Batman because Batman's rich. And I'm like, what are you, a 3-year-old? Calm down.
No. He is a college liberal.
It's a college liberal. All rich people are obviously evil. I didn't like it, honestly. It wasn't very good.
It was I
want to like this issue, but just every time I think about it, like, it's just too short, and I just don't care.
A lot of it is fighting and talking.
It's just fighting and talking.
Talking and fighting at the same time.
It's my same issue with the last story. It's like the last story was really interesting, but it ended too soon. Same with this one. This one's really interesting. It ends too soon. And it's well written. I just don't care. Like, I don't have enough. I'm not given time to care about this like dilemma.
I thought we were gonna get more stuff with Parliament of Owls, and that just kind of.
I did find it kind of cute with the whole. I didn't fall. I jumped because I knew you'd catch me a bit with between Bruce and Dick. And I'm like, that's cute.
I'm like, I was reading, and I'm like, Christian's gonna like that a little bit.
Yeah, like that's nice because I like to see their relationship involve that much trust. All right, let's go to our highlights now.
First up is Batman number 10, written by Tom King and art by Mikhail Janin.
I love this issue. I like how the cover is like you got Santa Prisca in the center that's all in gray, and you got Batman right behind that, and then it's like his rogues that are helping him behind him. And it's just kind of like this like zoom out look to it with a red background behind everything. I just enjoy that a lot. I like this issue, man. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too. I thought you were gonna dislike it because of a certain thing that happens.
The breaking your back reference that they literally nail into the ground.
Yeah, because I know you weren't too keen on like when they try to recapture a big event or a big milestone from the past, and like, oh look, we did this in the past, we're doing it now.
I think in this one it's different. It's referencing it. It's not trying to remake it. It's referencing it.
Yes.
It's Batman threatening to do to him what he did to him. I think my only issue with it was not really spoiler necessary, but when him and Bane meet, they kind of show the result of that threat, and it's exactly what you expect to happen. And it doesn't go anywhere. I'm not mad at it. I'm like, it's not gonna go anywhere because that'd be a little bit weird to keep going this issue, but it's cool.
Yeah.
Batman punches holes in the wall so he can use them as like things to climb with. I'm like, what is this?
Like, okay, come on, man.
Ridiculous. Batman, stop. Batman, please. Batman, no.
Hopefully this is longer than a 2-issue arc.
I'm pretty sure this is going to be at least 4 to 5 issues.
Good.
Which I'm happy.
I want longer arcs. Like 4 or 5 issues, man, at least.
I don't think longer arcs are the problem. I think arcs need to last as long as they take to tell the story properly.
Yeah.
And I think some artists have trouble with that because I think DC's telling everybody, look, your books are bi-weekly. Your books don't need to be that long. They don't need to be long stories. Don't expect just because you have a bio. I can see this work. DC told their writers, just because the books are bi-weekly does not mean you need to tell a story that lasts 6 months and has 12 issues. We don't need that.
No,
we do not need that. And I think people are taking that and they're like, oh, so we only can write 2 or 3 issues a story. I'm like, that's not. I also don't think that's what they're trying to get you to do either. I think what the problem is that people are looking at as like this two-sided thing. When they need to start seeing it as like bi-weekly means that you can tell a story that every issue can end with a cliffhanger and people won't get mad at you because they only have to wait 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or your issues don't have to be as long. You can have you have more freedom with what you can write, and your stories have more freedom because now you're not restricted to, all right, this is going to take 12 issues to tell the story, which means it's an entire year of the story. Now it's only half a year. And I doubt we'll get a single story that's going to take 24 issues to tell.
Oh, probably not. Unless it's like this. No, I can't even think of a thing that would even take 24 issues to tell.
And I like how everything is told quickly. Like it's not told in too many issues. I like how they're trying to be conservative and not waste your time with just filler. But at the same time, they remember that there's some things that you still need. Like, yeah, it'll seem like filler, but it actually is there to develop the story further, develop it for later. And I feel like some writers don't do that. Tim Sale has done nothing. Not Tim Sale. What the hell am I saying? Tom King. I don't know why I said Tim Sale. That's weird. Tom King has done nothing but impressed me, and everything he's done Batman has nothing but impressed me. I'm like, this is very good. And I didn't expect much from this writer. You remember when the writer was announced for Batman? I didn't know what to think about it. I'm like, this is strange. I don't know where to go with this. And I've been proven wrong. He's impressed me through and through every issue. I'm like, I'm very impressed by his skill, his level, his amount of quality he puts into his books is actually quite nice.
I think this is the better of the two Batman, like the two mainline Batman titles. Between Batman and Detective, I like this one more. Only marginally better. Marginally better.
It's hard because I don't view Detective as a Batman book anymore. I view it as a team book.
Yeah.
And I have trouble looking at it that way, but that's just me.
All right, next up is Death of Hawkman #2. This is the second part of the 6-issue miniseries. It is written by Mark Andreyko and art by Aaron Lopresti.
Like I said, we're probably going to bring up every issue of Death of Hawkman because this is a good story.
The art is great.
Oh, the art is beautiful. And just now knowing that everything that's happened between the two of them, Adam
Adam Strange
and Hawkman is all canon. Like everything that they've gone through together, all the growing they've had as friends is canon. So it's really cool because it's like it adds a layer to this depth. There's politics in this film, which is interesting. Sorry, it almost reads like a movie. Like
it kind of does, actually.
It's visually appealing. It's quality. It's written very well. It's just it.
My favorite panel is Hawkman's supervisor going, "I hate my job." I'm like, I just need a poster of that. Put it above my bed. I like my job. I hate the politics. I like the job.
Mm-hmm. I think that's how he feels too. It's a great book. Another great issue that ends really well, and it's constantly we got the villain in this issue, which we already know who it was because it was told in the first issue of the cover. I still feel it would have been a cool reveal in this issue. They would have not put him in the first issue cover. It would have been a cool reveal.
Yeah, but I am looking forward to him returning.
I am too. I haven't seen him in a while.
Very long time. All right, next up is Green Lanterns number 10, written by Sam Humphries and art by Eduardo Pensica.
The Phantom Ring. The Phantom Ring.
The Phantom Ring?
The Phantom Ring.
Because I had a lot of fun with this book.
So did I. It was a great issue. The villain, man, he's so unstable.
Oh, he's a baddie, all right. I like him.
It's at a time like you're crazy. You're not normal crazy. You're like extreme crazy. You're SpongeBob crazy. Like you don't make any sense.
I want to know.
I got afraid. I'm now Yellow Lantern. I'm like, oh, I don't like you. You're not.
You have too many emotions, my friend.
He's so. It's funny because the Phantom Ring is based off your emotions, and he's so emotional. I just want to see like him fighting and constantly switching between the different rings because he's emotionally unstable. Because of what he is, he's emotionally unstable, and it's so weird, man.
I don't remember if the guy that he's working with was revealed in the last issue or not. Was he?
He was.
Okay, so Volthrum is helping him out. He was.
The first lantern.
So
that's gonna be cool. Man. This is gonna be cool. This is a cool story. I like the bit when you have God, what's his name? Simon. Sorry, I don't know why. Had the ring on his hand and like.
Oh, that one panel, yeah, or the one page, yeah.
It has all the different colors of what he would look like and all the different like versions of the ring. Like that was
so cool.
I was reading it. My girlfriend looked at it and she's like, "That's really cool looking." I'm like, "Yeah, it is really cool looking, isn't it?"
Good stuff.
It's a good book, man. I'm telling people, pick this up. This is a great Green Lantern title. I'm really enjoying it.
Next up is Spidey number 10, written by Robert P. Thompson and art by Nathan Stockman.
This book was awesome, man. We got Peter Parker going on to a dance with Gwen Stacy. Then we got Peter Parker taking on the Sinister Sticks.
The Sinister Sticks.
The Sinister Sticks. It was good. It was a good book.
As long as they play a couple of their hits.
There's so many good moments in this book. From beginning to end, every page I found something that I just really enjoyed. With J. Jonah Jameson being a really good guy. I know it's shocking, but J. Jonah Jameson being a good guy. Gwen Stacy being so sweet to him and just obviously caring about him so much. And how their date ends. Well, if you are not blushing a little bit and really just feeling good about yourself at the end of that book. I don't know what's wrong about that. By the end of the day, I don't know what's wrong with you. How Peter finds the courage to defeat the Sinister Six, even though they are whooping him in the beginning, is awesome. And then he wipes the floor with them, and it's hilarious. The art's awesome. The art looks great. It's got this cool cover going on with it that you have kind of Peter in the center. And his like classic hand on the ground, but then his fist out back for a punch, and you get all the six behind him coming after him. It looks really cool. And it's read really well. I know Mario's gonna pick up the trade when it finally comes out.
Oh, totally.
Because it's just a good book, man.
I like Stockman's rendition of Mysterio.
I do too. They're a mixture of the classic designs with some kind of an updated model.
And Electro. Ooh, that's
nice. Yeah, Electro's basically his classic design. There's like a couple little differences.
Actually,
his
Kraven looks really good.
There's one moment with Kraven particularly that I found goofy. They wanted to capture a very famous image of Kraven the Hunter, and it just kind of looked goofy in context. They also do a Spider-Man No More reference with the spider suit and with the Spidey suit in the trash can. I won't tell you why. You'll have to read for yourself. It doesn't make any sense, but it makes sense in the context of the story. But I feel it sends the wrong message.
I guess you spilled some fruit punch on it.
No. It's cool. It makes a lot of sense why he's throwing it away. But then in the end, we get a new spider suit. And it's the classic suit with the webs under and everything. Yeah, it looks good. It looks great. It looks great. I love when it's got the webs. Yeah, it looks really good.
All right, next up is probably my favorite comic book.
Certainly not least, because this is my favorite book of the week.
My favorite book of the week. Superman number 10, written by Peter J. Tomasi and art by Patrick Gleason.
Oh, it was perfect.
Oh, yes.
The Super Family and the Bat Family come together to beat each other up. Except for on the cover, you think they're all going to make out with each other because...
Mostly Clark and Bruce.
The look on Clark's face at Bruce looks like, Bruce, just accept it. We're in love. And Bruce is like, no, we're not. And then there's just like Clark going in for a kiss.
I only like vengeance and I love justice.
And it's like, you got Damian and John like almost touching bellies, but like that's drawn so weird that any second you think that the look they're at each other is just gonna turn to them making out hardcore. I'm like, this is a weird cover, man. There's sexual tension going on here.
The art in this book was really good. There's a moment where we see a really angry Superman and not like the classic like red angry eyes of death Superman.
He's pretty bad.
I was like, oh my god, because you never want to get him that angry where you actually fear for your life.
Batman pulls out something that I didn't think he had anymore, which
kryptonite gum.
I love the kryptonite gun. Everyone can shut up. It's awesome. It's so stupid, but it's so cool. It's just, he pulls out something I didn't know he had anymore, and when he pulls it out, I'm like, oh, that could kill both Superman and Superboy relatively quickly. Like, I didn't think you had that anymore. So I hope that gets brought up and talked about, because that was a pretty big, like, pulls it out, like, oh, no, that's not good at all.
Also, Alfred is the best.
Yeah, he is pretty great.
Between Alfred and this issue and Justice League, he's been knocking it apart this week.
I do love though, if the Teen Titans Rebirth is how Damian makes friends, this is the book how Damian treats his enemies, because man, he is just mean to John in every sense of the word.
Christian texts me and he's like, so I feel like I need to apologize, and I was gonna type, what for? You didn't do anything.
And then I felt so bad for how Damian treated John. I'm like, I should probably apologize for the actions of Damian Wayne in the Superman comic. I'm sorry. He's a good kid. He means well. But he's just kind of a jerk.
I'm really excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, it was a great issue. And it was a lot of fun.
John is getting more powers, and he's potentially going to be getting more powers.
Yeah, Bruce points out that he's going to be starting getting more power soon based on how his body's evolving. And I'm like, that's really cool. Like, that is really, really cool.
But because he's half Kryptonian, half human, we don't know what that means.
I like how Clark uses Kryptonian technology to try and find out what's going on with John. And then Bruce points out, he is half human. You have to look at the human side as well, because he is half human. And that's where the answers were. I'm like, that's really cool. The answers were on his human side, which just kind of goes along with everything Superman. The answers are usually within the human side.
I'm excited.
I am too. I love this book. All right, guys. Next up is going to be the rest of our collection. But first off, I just wanted to say we get all our books for Docking Bay. Docking Bay, we love you guys.
You're the best guys.
You're the best guys. Just we try to do every show is to remind you, go to your local comic book store and support them the best you can. You know, with all different stores closing down, more and more stores are hearing about stores closed down. It's important you go. We go to Doc Bay 94. We love them. They're great. They don't even pay us to say this. We just like to say it every.
We adore them.
Yeah, we like to say it every episode because we really do appreciate them so much, because they've done so much for us. Do you want to start off, or should I start off?
You might as well start off.
Okay,
good sir.
First up, there was a sale at Docking Bay for Halloween, so I picked up a new series. I haven't gotten to read it yet. It's called The Black Road. It's made by Image, and from what I understand, it's a Viking escorting this priestess's daughter to this destination. And I've flipped through the issues to check it out, see what it looked like, and the art is gorgeous. It's done by Brian Wood and Gary Brown, along with David McGaig. I can't never pronounce his last name, and Steve Wades, and it's really cool looking. Like, it's got this really unique, almost like kind of penciled mixed watercolor mixed splash art going with it, and that's what kind of sold me. I'm like, this is really cool. It's all of its covers use white. It's very comfortable using a white background, and I appreciate that because it makes the color actually pop out a lot. I picked up the first 4 issues. I haven't yet really gotten to read them yet, but I'm gonna get around to it soon. Next up is one of the few pops that I got this week. Mario looks at me laughing because you have no idea what's coming next. I got the Gears of War Marcus Phoenix pop. I really like it. It's based off the new Gears of War game. It was only until Mario pointed it out, I realized this one really needs a mouth because his goatee does not look like a goatee. It looks like a Hitler stash. And for a second, Mario thought it was Hitler. And though it wouldn't be beneath me to buy a Hitler pop if they came out with one just for the lulz. I just started laughing like, yeah, it does kind of, doesn't it?
This isn't the internet. You can't say that in the real world.
Whatever. It looks cool. The goatee isn't really well designed, honestly, and I got it because I'm a huge Gears of War fan. But like the armor looks great, and the gun is awesome looking. And I have no more room in my bookshelf to put this. I have no more room. Like, I have no room left. Nothing. I'm
telling you, man. We need to get you a pop riser.
We do, and we also need to get me a second bookshelf.
We do. Have fun getting that in your car.
Next up is my second pop, and I'm gonna do all of them at once because they're all basically the same thing. I got the 1 Gears of War pop, and then I got 7 Rogue One pops. So I've had these on hold at GameStop for a while because I work there, so I put things on hold when they come out. So I've had 7 Rogue One pops on hold, except for like 2 because I'm getting those in the Smuggler's Bounty. The 2 main characters, the main female and the main male character of the movie. I have them on hold. It makes my wallet sad. I got 7. I got the Darth Vader, the GameStop exclusive Darth Vader, which has him force choking, and it's awesome. It's one of my favorite It's finally a Darth Vader pop that I actually really like. I think he doesn't look as clunky as the other Darth Vader pops usually do.
Yeah, he actually stands tall instead of crouching. Yeah,
his head's smaller, I feel, and I kind of like that more. I'm not gonna lie.
And it's shinier.
It is shinier.
I like a shiny Vader.
Then I got wow, I can't even pronounce that name. Chirrut, Imwe. It's such a weird name. One of the new characters is the one with the stick and the kind of like cool like monk-looking outfit with some of the it almost looks steampunky.
Isn't he
in a
blind?
Way. Yeah, he's blind. It's cool looking. He's got blue eyes because he's blind. I just like that a lot.
No one knows what it's like.
And then I got Baze Malbus, which is the black guy with the dreadlocks, who looks like the biggest bad mother effer in the world, and I love him. I was trying to find a way to put this. I think I love this character. He just looks. His character design is one of the coolest looking things on the face of the earth. I just love it so much.
If you take away the blaster rifle, he looks like he'd be bumming around with Cheech and Chong.
Yes, he does, doesn't he? Oh my god! I need Cheech and Chong pops, man.
I think they have them, don't they?
They do. I haven't found them yet though. Next I got was director Orison Krennic, which is one of the new villains of this film. I guess he's someone who's been like in charge of doing the Death Star, and his coloring is awesome. I'm not gonna lie, the coloring looks great, and he's got this kind of like he's got that Han Solo blaster thing, which is basically like a revolver kind of thing going on.
I see that
with the scope here. Check it out. Kind of like holding it in his like behind his cape, and I think it's kind of cool because it's got a subtlety to it. I like that a lot.
I mean, it's not a DL-44, but you know, it gets the job done.
And then I got a Scarf Trooper, Scarf Trooper, and it looks cool. I like that kind of brownish color to it, and I don't know, it looks really well. It's well designed. It's a new Stormtrooper design, which I appreciate.
I do like Stormtroopers.
I guess technically Death Troopers a new design as well because we really hadn't seen it in the film before.
That's true.
It kind of was there because we're getting Death Troopers as well. I want to rephrase. I did get the main male actor of the movie pop. I'm not getting Death Trooper because that's coming in the Rogue One.
Kind of reminds me of like a combination of a Scout Trooper and a Snow Trooper.
A little bit.
With like a tan color.
I got the same feeling. I think it's for the beach.
That would make sense.
Yeah, it would. We're getting a new planet that isn't desert or trees. I'm just happy to have that.
Or ice.
And then I got the main male character, Captain Cassian Andor, and it's fine. This is my least favorite of them. There's a lot of stuff on him, which just kind of makes him look a little clunky, but his face sculpt is really well done. Like I think the face coloring and the face sculpt looks really cool.
Yeah, I like it.
I think it looks good. I think I don't know. I think it might be the beard thing going on, the 5 o'clock shadow they have going on for him. I think it looks really cool. I like it a lot, though. I'm a big fan.
Star Wars.
Last but not least is honestly right now my favorite character of the Rogue One so far. I just love this guy. Is K2SO. He's that one tall robot that has probably the funniest line, one of the best lines in the trailer. The captain says, "You are a friend. I shall not kill you." I love it so much. And just something about it. It's just so funny, and he's really cool looking, man. He's just got this cool, new, different design going on with him. He's got an Imperial symbol on his arm, so he's probably an Imperial robot. I'm really happy. And this pop looks great. It's one of the only droid pops that looks good, that legitimately looks good, aside from the red-armed C-3PO, which I also have, which I think looks fine.
I like the BB-8 one. He's cute.
Yeah, the BB-8 one's super cute. Those are the three that I think those are the three I really think that are the ones that nailed it. Those are good droid looking ones. The R2-D2 looks awful. And
it looks clunky.
And the C2B5 from Rogue One also looks pretty awful. I just don't think they I don't think astromechs translate well in pop form.
I wish they would, because I want an R2-D2.
I think the problem is they're trying to put the pop style with them on, and it just doesn't work. But yeah, the Rogue One line is really great. There's only one I don't like, and like I said, it's the astromech one, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's hard to translate it. I don't think they should though. They didn't translate BB-8 to a normal pop style.
Not really. I mean, his head's a little bit larger and a little, kind of got the pop kind of squarish thing going on, but it's really subtle.
And it's more roundish anyways. It's more rounded out anyways. I don't know. I don't know why they can't do it for everybody else. But I like it. I like it nonetheless. I don't think they look terrible. I see the appeal for people. I just don't like them personally.
Kind of like my dislike for the original Wonder Woman pop. It just doesn't look very good.
That's why I didn't get it.
Yeah. Some characters don't translate very well to pops.
Yeah, the new ones look good though.
Family Guy. That was the worst line that they had last year.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. All right, Mario, your turn.
So I'm really excited for this new Metallica album. It's been 8 years.
Oh, really? I hadn't guessed.
My absolute favorite band. They've been my favorite band since I was 13 or 14, and my mom told me, Mario, one day Metallica's not going to be your favorite band. I'm 22 years old now, and they're still pumped through my speakers loud and as heavy as possible.
When I know Mario's having a bad day and I have to pick him up, I drive up and I'll start playing Metallica music to make him feel better, and it works every time.
Yeah. Even when I have a bad day. Okay, brief sidestep because it's kind of related, because this is all related to the same story. Okay, so the day that they announced their new album and they put out Hardwired was the day that I had to do check-ins. Now, I didn't get much sleep that day, and my batteries were running really low. And then I saw on Instagram a 20-second preview of the music video. I'm like, what, new Metallica? Perked me right up. But anyway, I've been prepping. This is Mario Metallica month for me. So I've just been buying a lot of Metallica stuff, and I picked up.
You'd be darn tootin' if you don't think we're going to review the new Metallica album. Because I like Metallica, I just don't feel the newest stuff to be very good.
I like it. But the first thing I got, because I couldn't find it anywhere, is the soundtrack for the Metallica Through the Never film. And it's 2 discs. It's all recorded live over 3 days. It was August 24th, 25th, and 27th of 2012. And it's rocking. The sound production is great. It's...
Wow. It's cool because what it does is I find kind of interesting is that when it first up says never, and then you flip that open, and then it says yield, and you flip it open, it says fear, flip it open again, regret, rest, and there you go. Every time you flip it open, it's a new word, and I don't know why, I just find that so cool.
It's really awesome. Like, I put almost every song on that album on my phone because the production quality is just fantastic.
Oh, that's right. I forgot they did do most of the songs were songs off other albums. They didn't make many original songs for this.
No, they didn't make any.
And they're all. I thought there was one they made that was original just to this.
No.
Oh. It was recorded live too, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. The only one that wasn't really recorded live but was done at a sound check is the quote-unquote live version of Orion.
Oh, okay.
But all the stuff, with the exception of Memory Remains and Fuel, everything is from the first 5 albums.
Fuel's a good song, though.
I do like Fuel.
I like Fuel a lot.
It's a kickin'
I was
album.
Surprised when you told me you never seen the movie before.
I never got around to it.
I think it's still on Netflix.
It's not.
Is it not? Oh.
I'm gonna buy it on Blu-ray. They had it on DVD over at Barnes & Noble, but they didn't get it back
on Blu-ray.
They did that, and they didn't get it back in stock. And I keep checking, and it's never there. Next up, I have a reissue of the Black Album, but tracks 8 and 12, which is I'm pretty sure Nothing Else Matters and The God That Failed, they skip because I got it used at a record store. But I'm not really one for buying reissues, but I decided to go ahead and start buying the reissues. So I picked up the reissue for Kill 'Em All.
I love this
and
album.
Ride the Lightning.
Oh, I love Ride the Lightning. You know how much I love Ride the Lightning. It's probably my favorite album by them.
I need to get frames for these.
Oh, Kill 'Em All's so good too. Let me see Ride the Lightning. How you doing, sweetie? It's been a long time. Come to daddy.
This isn't going to be the first time I buy these on vinyl. I'm going to buy originals.
Fire with fire, Ride the Lightning. For whom the bells toll, fade to black. Trapped under ice, escape, creeping death. The Call of Cthulhu. Like, how can you not?
It's a perfect album.
How can you not love this album? It's so perfect from beginning to end. It's just such a good. Ay caramba. Ay. I'm
going to eventually pick up the box set remasters that they did with like the picture disc and all the live albums and the DVD and the book and stuff. But next up, I picked up.
Speaking of books, God.
Yeah, September 13th, 3 days.
This thing is huge.
3 days before my birthday, they put out a book, and it's the official chronicling of everything from.
Page turning, guys. I'm sorry.
Everything from the end of Ride the Lightning, them going on tour, them doing Donington and Day on the Green, and the Metal Hammer Festival over in Germany, all the way up through the end of the Master of Puppets tour. It does everything from that, and it's interviews and never before seen pictures.
These are some great images.
I love it.
That Metallica cake. It looks like someone already cut it, but it's actually just lightning. I don't know. I find that funny.
I think I'm about halfway through it right now. It's a huge book, despite a majority of it being pictures, and I'm going to be very sad when I finish this book. But
this is for metal fans, man. They have too many words.
It's my absolute favorite album of all time, Master of Puppets. There was a time when I first started playing guitar where I would pop on the album and I knew how to play every song on that album, beginning to end.
That's pretty cool.
Solos and all.
That's pretty cool, man. Sorry, I'm just being... Oh, man, there's even set lists of what the order of the songs are going to play. Oh, that's so cool.
They got original lyrics. They get to see what the lyrics originally were, how they were changed. It's awesome. I love it so much. And then, surprisingly, the only Superman thing that I got this week was the Hallmark Keepsake ornament.
Oh yeah, the one that has that's the 3-parter with Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman that end up forming the BVS symbol.
Yeah.
The one that kind of looks like Superman's trying to poop. He does. He looks like he's got his knees bent. He's got his fists clenched. He's got his eyes squinting a little bit like a poop.
I like the sculpt on this though.
Gotta poop his pants. Gotta poop his pants.
So I'm gonna pick up the other two, and then they have a DC superhero girl, Supergirl, that I gotta pick up because
it's a cool ornament, man. It's a cool ornament.
God knows I need that.
Yeah, God knows you need that, definitely.
So that's all for me.
Yeah, honestly, that's really it.
Aside from digital downloads for
so many
new songs.
I got so many pops this week. I got a couple new posters. I don't really feel like they need to be talked about. There's just stuff I got from GameStop. I got a Skyrim poster and a Titanfall 2 poster.
Oh, that reminds me. One of my listeners from my other show sent me a poster. You know that famous picture of dogs just playing poker?
Yeah.
It's one of those, except it's
God.
the super pets. So you get Crypto,
so
Streaky,
cool.
Beppo, Comet, and then Ace the Bat Hound.
Not Batcow?
No.
Batcow was also in the Superman comic, and that was awesome.
So I need to get that framed.
All right, guys. Moving on from our collection, we're going to hit our discussion. So this week's discussion topic, I felt, is relevant considering that Doctor Strange came out and it was a predominantly like non-Asian cast, considering a lot of the characters they had were Asian characters. Honestly, there's only one major Asian character in this movie, and that's Wong. And it kind of brings in a bigger problem of, you know, the film industry has never been good about race, but race representation they've never been good about it. Any movie that has too much diversity, they don't seem to fund very often. Even Straight Outta Compton, which is probably one of the best films made that year, if not the best film made that year, was almost entirely ignored by most critics and people because it was predominantly about black people, and they've never been too good about that. And it was about violence and about the violence in the system. It's just the industry's never been too good about it. And recently, they've been better about the about black representation in film. It's been a lot better, but they think that in improving that and improving women's representation in film, that they can ignore the Asian representation, Hispanic representation, Islamic representation, because those are still terrible. And I think Doctor Strange is a great example of film that thinks, oh, but we made one of the characters black. We made this one major character black. We made this one major character female. It's like, yeah, both were both were originally Asian characters. How often do you get a movie with Asian characters that just aren't an Asian stereotype?
Oh god, there were so many in this movie.
There was a few Asian stereotypes in the movie that got a little annoying. Wong wasn't, which was nice.
No, he was cool.
But Wong was a humorless ice queen, which I did find funny. But I just want to discuss it because this is the biggest thing. Like when we start reviewing Midnight Release, I'm gonna kind of hammer it in a little bit more. But Doctor Strange, my biggest criticism of this movie is that it is, whether it means to be or not, kind of racist. Because in a movie that takes place predominantly in Asia, there's almost no Asians in it. And it's
only in the background.
Only in the background. The background characters. I'm like, they should be predominant characters in this. The ancient one's Asian. Baron Mordo is Asian, and a lot of his interpretations Asian. We've got a bunch. They even rub it in your face a little bit. Like they have this one guy that looks literally like the ancient one from the comics, but then they're like, "Oh no, it's this girl. You didn't see that coming." I'm like, "You're right," because I feel it's kind of stupid. You made it a white girl. Why couldn't it be an Asian female? Would that be a really big problem? It's systemic to a larger issue that yes, representation for black people and females is better now, but they use that as an excuse to cut out other groups, because that's what it is. They will use that to cut out less groups they feel are less significant. They shouldn't put in because people won't buy. And it honestly bugs me. It bugs me a lot. It's very frustrating.
I can't think of many Hispanic leads in recent years.
Yeah, it's really hard to think. It's genuinely a challenge to try and sit there and think, how many Hispanic leads in movies are there? How many Asian leads in movies are there? How many Islamic leads in movies are there? Normally, those characters are the villains.
And it's not that I get offended by these things. Like if there's
I get really
as a Mexican.
As a Mexican, I got my special.
No, as a Mexican, I don't necessarily get offended whenever they have the stereotypical Mexican, because you gotta laugh at yourself every now and then, or you gotta laugh at some things.
At yourself. It's a blatant. It's representation of an entire race that isn't true, and it's so common. It's so common to see this blatantly not true representation that it becomes people think that that's what people are like, and it's really frustrating.
And I get it.
I don't mind stereotypes in comedies because it's comedy. But
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
When you have stereotypes in dramas, stereotypes in horror, the stereotypes start bleeding into areas they shouldn't even be in. That's where the problem comes in. That's where it starts getting frustrating.
I was more talking about comedies, yeah. But I'd like to see more Hispanic characters in the forefront. That'd be great. That's kind of why I like Blue Beetle, because he's Hispanic. That's why I like Jessica Cruz, because she's Hispanic. I mean, they're also well-written characters and developed pretty well. But they're Hispanic. But I don't get upset when I'm not seeing somebody that's not like me. That's stupid.
Yeah, there's a level of, like, when you read it, you're like, I kind of relate to this, because you don't relate to... I feel there's a level of you don't really relate to a character fully through their race, but it helps, because you feel like it's a character that would understand your trials and tribulations, the things you deal with on a daily basis. And I'm in a privileged state because I'm a white guy. You know how many white guy superheroes there are that are awesome? A lot.
My favorite superhero is a white guy.
Yeah, I mean
he's an alien, but
he's a white guy. He's human. He's human. He's human. And I mean, like, I get a little bit of privileged kind of stance in this. I get what I would want, but at the same time, it's still frustrating to see it, because it's not unnecessary. Some of the best superheroes aren't white guys, or aren't white girls, or aren't black guys, or aren't black girls. A lot of them are really, there's a lot of great Hispanic superheroes. There's Miss Marvel's Islamic. I am still shocked that Marvel decided to go that route, like, just blatantly go that route. I'm just like, are you sure about that? I mean, Green Lantern's Islamic. I'm like, DC, that's a little bit like, and not Islamic. He's an accused terrorist that was falsely accused. I'm like, wow. I get the political message you're putting in there, but ooh, you're pushing the envelope. People are gonna get angry about it, and they were very angry about it. But who cares? Like, what are they gonna do? Stop them? It's a great character. He's a great character.
But going back to film,
it's a level of, like,
I feel like they're trying to please 2 or 3 groups of people.
Yeah, because the groups they feel like are going to the cinema, they can please, and as long as they please those groups, the others won't say anything because they're just so used to it at this point. It
kind of bothers me, but not really. Like, I get it. I want more representation because the world is a very diverse place, but there's more than 2 races and 2 genders. Well, no, there's male and female, unless, like, you're a Tumblr person and there's like 70 billion. But
be nice now. Difference of opinions there, buddy.
Either way, there's more than 2 races.
I feel that that's a big problem in cinema, is that, like, it wouldn't bug me as much if it wasn't for the fact being that you hear constantly in stories like Scarlett Johansson, she's now playing she's going to be playing an Asian role. They're going to make her look more Asian, even though there's plenty of Asian actresses that tried out for that role. Like, they're like, you hear about stories how they said, oh, I can't hire this person because they're too black or they're too Hispanic. And it's really frustrating to know it's not even subtle. It's like blatantly like, no, we don't want you because you're Mexican. We don't want you because you look Asian. We don't want you because you look Muslim. I'm like, it's just, or you don't want you because you look Jewish. I'm like, there's a level of almost sickeningly annoying about that. Like, it's almost sickening how much they think they can just do something and no one's gonna call them for it. Because we don't call them on it. We never call them on it, and it's super frustrating. And it's just, I'm really happy to see that the film industry has been more diverse recently than it has in a long time.
Or at least attempting to be.
But that's the thing. It's so superficial. It's a superficial attempt.
It's pandering.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we can't be racist or sexist, we can't be racist to this group, and we can't be sexist anymore. But you know what we can do is that if we pander to these groups, they won't call us out any other time. Because, okay, so I have a fun story. When not Scarlett Johansson, I'm sorry. When did a movie with what's his name? Matt Damon with him in the
The Great Wall.
The Great Wall. Everyone was complaining that Matt Damon was a white guy playing the lead, and it should be a predominantly Asian role, where they don't realize that every other character in that movie is Asian. Matt Damon's white for a reason. It's a part of his character and part of the story. It's meant to play into it. But the second that Marvel pulls something like that, but it was blatantly they were changing Asian characters to something that more appealing to a mass audience, no one called them on it. No one said it. Like, a handful of people said something, and the people who did say something were just kind of shut out by everybody else. Like, it's Marvel. They make great stuff. I'm like, yeah, they make great stuff. That doesn't mean they're not above criticism. No one's above criticism. And I was like, I was all in. When I heard they changed the casting choice for the Ancient One and Baron Mordo, I was all in. I'm like, what are you doing? That's so messed up. That's so wrong. And the worst part is, the movie doesn't make it any better.
It's like they're trying too hard to be progressive that they end up being regressive.
It's like they're not trying at all. They're doing everything they can to be as non-progressive as possible. They only give the groups that they know if they don't give it to, they won't make money at all.
They're pandering to the two most vocal groups.
Yeah, and they know that the other groups either aren't vocal enough or no one's listening, and it bugs me. It honestly upsets me. Because it's blatantly it is blatantly insulting to see it. And as somebody who has I have the ideology, you don't write a character with a gender or race in mind. Just write a character. If the character's good, let a good actor play that character. Unless the gender or race is a part of the story, like it's there to make a point. That's the only time I ever felt it's the reason you should do it. Like, just write a character to be any character, and put whoever fits that role in it. I just feel like I don't understand why Hollywood tries so hard to not diverse. Like, they do everything they can to make their movies as non-diverse as possible, to limit it as much as possible. And the few movies that are diverse, they don't get talked about ever. Like, they don't ever get looked at.
And we're not saying that every film needs to have that one token race character, but at least make an attempt.
It just feels like there's not an attempt being made. No one's even trying to open the films up to other races.
Because then you get the thing that you had back in the 2000s and the 90s, where every group of white friends would have the one Hispanic guy and the one black guy be like, "That's whack, yo." You look stupid writing and making movies like that.
It does look dumb. It's a big problem, but honestly, I think with the film industry, the reason that they do it is because it's always been financially successful. It's always worked. The only way to get them to stop doing stuff like this is to stop seeing movies. And come on, how many people are actually going to stop seeing movies?
I don't know. I was pretty disappointed by this week's Garbage Day.
Oh my god. All right. This discussion is.
Hopefully, we're right on the right track on this.
I think we hit good points. There's a lot to say in this. I said what I wanted.
There's a lot of sides to it.
Yeah, I've made my peace with it. I made the point I wanted to make. It's just that you can't. No studio is above criticism. Not even Marvel.
Nothing is above criticism. Nothing and nobody is above criticism. That's my mantra.
Mm-hmm. Moving on. This week, we didn't do the rewind. We didn't do Matinee Monday. This week's a special week. Every so often, a movie will be coming out that we're so excited for. We're going to see it the day it comes out, the night it comes out.
Or something that's really huge.
Or something that's really huge. This week was Doctor Strange for a segment we like to call the Midnight Release. Doctor Strange was directed by Scott Derrickson. And it was fine. I was really excited. I like the Doctor Strange character. The trailers didn't get me really excited for the film. And I feel like I got exactly what I was expecting of this film. It's not bad, but it's not particularly great. I like what you pointed out. It's the best middle-of-the-road Marvel movie.
Yeah. Because the trailers didn't really sell me on it. And I don't know if it's just a problem with their marketing or the film itself. It just didn't grab my attention.
I'm going to say it's the film itself, honestly.
It didn't grab my attention like I thought it was going to. I mean, Doctor Strange, one, he's got a great character design. Like, he does look really cool. Two, it's magic. Who doesn't like magic?
People that are wrong, that's who.
Exactly. I would think that this movie would speak to me on some level, but it was there. It didn't feel like 2 hours, which was a good thing.
Yeah, I always hate the criticism that Marvel movies are all formulaic, because it's a criticism made by someone who doesn't understand film and who just spews out whatever random BS they find from a critic they like, and that says what they want to hear. Marvel films in their first wave were very, very by the numbers, but they had to be to sell the product. After that, there's tons of Marvel films that have not by. Like, there's more Marvel films that actually do something interesting and different and new than there are that don't. Than there are that are by the numbers. But if you want, and I guarantee it's not gonna happen, but if you want a movie that you can criticize for being by the numbers, it's Doctor Strange, man. I was making the joke. This is the end of Act 1. Let's go to Act 2, because this is the build-up. Hey, this is the challenge. Hey, this is the final act. And I'm like, there's a point in the movie where there's a little break, like a stop. I go to my girlfriend. I look over, not my girlfriend, to my roommate's boyfriend, and I'm like, hey, are you ready for Act 3? Let's go to Act 3. And I swear to God, the second I said that, the screen faded in to the next scene. Because it was so obvious when the movie was cut. Like, it felt like the movie was filmed in 3 segments, and they were just pumped together.
Yeah. There's a bit where Benedict Cumberbatch and Mads Mikkelsen have their first go at it, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is the trial and error, isn't it? We're doing hero's journey, and I really should have seen it coming, but it's like, oh, we're really going this route.
The hero's journey is what most people call the origin story. The origin story is normally just the hero's journey. The hero's journey done in a very particular way.
And there's nothing wrong with it.
No, hero's journey is great.
Every story has followed it to some extent.
And like some of the most original films on Earth use the hero's journey. It's the most common film device because it's a very simple template to follow and make something really good out of it. The problem with Doctor Strange is that they do nothing with it. It's just the hero's journey. And it's so blatantly the hero's journey that it's honestly almost hilariously obvious. Like, I knew Doctor Strange's like first big fight in the Santorum with Mads' character was gonna be him losing because it's so obvious, and like the ending of that fight and the result of a very important character was so obvious because of course, because at the ending of the first confrontation in the second act, there has to be they have to lose significantly. Either they have to lose something important or someone has to die in some way, something around those lines. And of course, that's basically what happens. And I'm like, wow, this is incredibly obvious and hard to watch a little bit. It's almost a little frustrating. Was it not heartfelt? Yeah. Did I not feel bad? Yeah, I felt bad. It was a good moment. It put the emotional strings on. It just wasn't, it had nothing original with it. And I criticize Marvel for originality, considering that they are a studio that kind of boasts their originality. You know, Marvel Productions, they boast how original their films are, and they have all right to, because a lot of their films are very original. Guardians of the Galaxy, an incredibly original film. So when you make a film that is this by the numbers, I'm gonna criticize you for it. It's a little bit bad,
and it's not because I went in wanting to dislike this film. I was expecting. Because I know Marvel is associated with quality.
Yeah.
And I figured, all right, well, the trailers
Marvel
didn't really...
films are associated with quality. Let's specify that.
The trailers didn't sell me, but I'm pretty sure it'll probably be good.
I'm gonna most likely like it.
Knowing their batting average, I know that it's probably going to be a quality product. It was all right.
It was, for all the criticism we're giving this movie, it was good.
But it's not a perfect movie by any means.
It's not perfect, and it's got a lot of issues. One of them, and I'm going to say it again, I'll say it 100 times, is the blatant racism of the movie. Whether it means to or not, the movie's kind of racist. And I know they didn't mean... I get a good feeling they don't
Progressive racism.
Yes, thank you. It's progressive racism. It's in their attempt to be progressive, they ultimately end up being more racist because they feel like they have to include these different groups. But what they don't realize, the characters are changing, excludes a group that gets nowhere near as much in representation of the other two, which leads it to be a little bit more racist than it should be.
It's the horseshoe effect. You can go one way or the other, but either way, if you go far enough, you're going to end up at the same point.
Yeah, this is a film that there was not a single character that needed to change. They could have been exactly the same. Honestly, I like the ancient one being a girl. I think it should have been Asian. She should have been Asian.
Yeah.
And it should have been an Asian female. That's how it should have been.
Yeah,
And it's just, the story's okay, the acting's okay. Literally anybody else could be in Benedict Cumberbatch's role. Like, Benedict Cumberbatch playing this character is a problem with Benedict Cumberbatch as an actor, is that he's played this character over so many times before that I'm like, oh my god, this is Sherlock, The Imitation Game, and every other character he plays I've ever seen him in is the arrogant smart guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, you're an actor that has so much range.
I like him a lot.
I love him, but like, I'm getting the feeling now that it's either that people won't give him anything different, or he has absolutely no range as an actor because he's playing the same character over and over and over again.
Like Melissa McCarthy, the fat, stupid one.
Or Johnny Depp, the weird one.
The kooky, crazy, zany.
The zippy, kooky, crazy, zany. Pirates, the Curburn.
Can we talk about the jokes for a second?
Oh my god.
A couple of times they got a little smile out of me.
There's some jokes that I'm like, all right, this is funny. And then there's jokes I'm like, my god, stop where you stand.
They do this thing where they throw a joke in during a serious moment,
and it undermines
like
it completely.
There's a bit where Doctor Strange puts on the cloak and he's getting ready to go fight some baddies, right? And he pops his collar. He's like, "Yeah, let's do this."
And the cloak is wiping tears off of him.
I'm like, not the best time for that, guys. Really,
it would have been like that sequence would have been great if they let it end on a sad note. If they let it end sad, like it needed to end sad, and then it tried to end with comedy. I'm like, this undermines a lot of what just happened here. And there's a lot of serious moments that are undermined by the movie's comedy. Is there comedy that hits? Absolutely, there's some funny moments.
There's some bits in there that I got a chuckle out of, but majority of it I was just straight-faced or sighing.
And the Wi-Fi password joke I didn't find funny in the trailer. I actually found funny in context of the film because up to that point everyone was so serious, and that bit of comedy, I'm like, okay, that was pretty funny, guys. I'll give you that one.
It was all right. It didn't hit with me.
I understand.
We were talking about this in the theater, and there was something that you said that perfectly summed up how I was feeling without me sounding like a snob about cultural references and
it's very was it generic? I said they're very generic references, or they're very forced. They're forced references. They're super forced. There's a joke with Wong throughout the film that is incredibly forced, and it's not funny. Like I laugh at it at first. I'm like, that's cute, and then I'm like, a few minutes later in the film, you're like, oh, you're doing it again. A few minutes later in the film, oh, you're doing it again. A few minutes later in the film, I'm like, oh my god, can you stop with this joke, please? For the love of God, like it's just a series of like references just to have references in it. They're so forced and they do not fit in this type of movie. I do not feel Doctor Strange as this character would make references like that. I just don't feel like this is a perfect character.
No, not really.
He seems more high class than that. I'm like, oh my god, just stop.
Though I will give them credit because they played Feel So Good by Chuck Mangione, and I adore that song and that album.
I will say that the music in the film was awesome. It had that mysticism, like mystical feel to it. I'm like, ooh, this is cool.
The soundtrack in some places kind of reminded me of Star Wars, like the
prequel
soundtrack.
I don't hate the prequel soundtrack.
No,
I think it's one of the only thing with the prequels I like is the soundtrack. I'm being honest here.
It kind of sounded like Star Wars, and I'm like, we've done this before, guys.
And I think the visuals, though nothing new, were really cool and fun to watch. This the first time it experiences magic. That whole sequence, I was just all into it. I'm like, this is visually amazing. This is an amazing visual sequence. And there's a moment where like he looks at his hands and his hands starts growing hands, and those hands are growing hands. And I'm like, what is going on?
He falls into his eye. He falls
into his eye. Like, that's awesome.
That was cool. But then the stuff with the buildings, they do it so many times, and I feel like they spent too much time trying to make it like an Escher painting. I think that's the artist, the guy that does the stairs that keep going in circles.
Yeah, that's exactly the same artist. Yeah, that's the exact artist. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was the guy's name.
No, that's his name.
Escher. Yeah. But they spent too much time trying to do that instead of focusing on the story. And
I think the problem is that as when we saw magic, like the different forms of magic, it was awesome. We saw different colors and whatnot. But the problem is a lot of the film is the same like few spells over and over and over again. There was no much variety in the magic.
There's like 4 types of magic used.
The magic that's used is cool and I enjoy it. But variety would have kind of been nice. There's like the whole like buildings warping in on themselves. That, especially toward the end, I'm like, I've already seen this 5 times. Can I get something new?
Because we get it in the intro, and we get it in the main or the first fight. We get it in the third fight.
We get it in every fight. Like it's every fight. It's usually at least once. That warping bit.
Yeah. The doors thing was cool, or the windows. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I've kind of seen something like this, but that was in Treasure Planet. But they couldn't send people places.
is this whole like bit where you can like go to different places with these windows and like how it's used in a fight sequence. It's really well done. It's actually a part of the movie where like there's a bit comedy to it, but it's comedy by circumstance only. It's just funny how everything turned out, but it's also super intense. So it's like it kind of builds on itself. It's actually really good. I actually really like that.
There was a moment when, because they introduced the cape, and the cape's got this personality, kind of like the magic carpet from Aladdin. And
I do like that.
I turned to somebody, I think it was Christian's girlfriend or Austin. I'm like, so when's the pop coming out?
Yeah. Yeah, because he is really cute, and you're like, all right, when's the pop figure? In the end, Doctor Strange is a fine film. It's not groundbreaking.
I've seen a lot of the stuff done in here before.
It's something we haven't seen before, and it's something new. I want to like this film more than I do, but I came into the film thinking I'm gonna at least enjoy this, and I came out of the film at least I enjoyed this. And I feel if it was DC, I would be very happy about that. I was happy with Suicide Squad because at least I had moments where I enjoyed Suicide Squad. But I think with Marvel, and considering that I know they can do better, it's a bit of a criticism for them. It's like, I know you can do better with this character. This is a character you all would shine with. I don't know who dropped the ball here. I think it might have been the director. I feel, yes, the visuals look nice, but visuals alone don't make a film.
No.
Then again, they do hold a film. They can hold a film together pretty well, which is what's done here. But it doesn't make the film, unfortunately. I like Doctor Strange. I recommend if you're a Marvel fan, go see it. And if you're not a Marvel fan, honestly, the only thing you're missing is, spoiler alert, something I told you before the movie came out. The Eye of Agamotto is an Infinity Stone. It's
stupid.
the Time Stone.
That's stupid.
And yes, it comes out of nowhere, and it's stupid as stupid could be. That's all you need about this film. All right, guys. Off the midnight release. And now it's time, last but not least, for our favorite bit of the week, Garbage Day.
What are you talking about? That was totally the least. This is the worst movie I've seen this week.
Inferno.
And I've only seen 2 movies.
Inferno, directed by Ron Howard. For those of you who don't know, Inferno is a part of the Angels and Demons series and the Da Vinci Code series. And like Angels and Demons and like the Da Vinci Code, it's a movie that makes no sense. But unlike Angels and Demons and unlike the Da Vinci Code, this movie is bad.
Ron
They'll
Howard.
argue those two movies aren't very good. They're fun at least. This movie isn't even fun.
Ron Howard, I know you can do better.
This is a studio contract obligation movie to make. Like,
Yeah.
they were obligated to make this movie.
I know he can do better because he made Rush.
Yeah, I feel like the problem with Inferno. My dad read the book, and he summed to me that his biggest problem with the book was that it didn't feel like it had any of the gravitas that the other two had. It didn't have that feeling of like, oh my god, it's the Illuminati. Oh my god, it's the Bloodline of Christ. This one's like, yeah, it's a bunch of puzzles.
Ooh.
The book, though, had a very fascinating villain, which we really didn't get in this movie. I don't even think it was done the same way, which is kind of frustrating considering that, like, my father loves the series, and he said he liked Inferno. He thought it wasn't the best of the series, but it was still very good. And this one, it's not even close to good. It's hard to watch, and it's not a movie I want to dislike. At the end of the film, I looked at Mario and it's like, I really want to like this movie. I really want to enjoy this film. It's so cool. It's got so many cool things going on, but like, they're all done so poorly that I just don't like it.
Yeah. Tom Hanks was phoning it in on this one.
Yeah, and it's funny because I argued a lot that Angels and Demons was probably one of Tom Hanks' worst performances because you can tell he didn't want to be there. But Inferno, not only, there's no argument. He didn't want to be there. He didn't want to do this movie. He's under contract to do these films. He doesn't want to do it anymore, but he has to.
He offers up a better performance in Bosom Buddies than he does in this.
And what's really irritating in this film
Bosom Buddies.
What's really irritating about this film is that there's a lot of things going on here that I would be really, really good, but they're either bogged down by other things or like they're just not done properly. Like there's the moment where there's a reveal of this is Garbage Day. So
Spoilers are off.
Yeah, spoilers are off because don't see this film. It's not worth your time.
Nothing even funny in it.
There's a moment, nothing funny. They destroy a piece of priceless art, and there's a moment in the film where they destroy a piece of priceless art, and Mario looks over at me, worried because he hears someone crying. Because I've been to Florence, and I've been to the museum that the art was destroyed in. So I've seen what they're like. I know it's fake, but I've seen what they're destroying, and I'm crying. 'Cause I'm really upset. I'm really upset over this. Like that's a beautiful piece of work.
What did that painting ever do to you?
I started for like at least a good few for like 30 minutes straight, just like marveling in it. I was crying. Like, how could you? That's not even funny or interesting. Like, this is really insulting as someone who loves. I'm a big history guy, like a big history guy. I'm a big art. I love art history as well. My first major was humanities. Just go point that out there. So I love this is like the art, Florence and Italy, old Italian art, like the Roman era art. It's gorgeous. I love it so much. Just my heart and soul. It's where my heart will always be. And I started to cry. I actually started to cry when I saw it destroyed because it honestly hurt me that much. So there was a memorable moment in this movie. It was me breaking down in tears because a piece of beautiful art was destroyed. But going back to the whole twisting, there's a moment in the movie where we find out the main female character is actually working for the bad guy.
So,
which was really cool. Really cool and well done. Except for in that same moment, we got 3 different twists as well. And it was so bogged down by the other twist that it was hard to like...
I couldn't keep track.
Yeah, it was hard to appreciate how well done it kind of was done, because everything else was happening at the same time and there's just too many things going on that I just couldn't. I was more focused on these other things than that. I feel like that one of the other twists was that the black guy was also a bad guy, and that like this white lady, I don't remember their names because they're all useless at this point.
Yeah,
the white lady was just Tom Hanks's character's love interest.
Which came out of nowhere.
Which you thought was a bad guy ends up being a good guy.
And then they have a romance subplot.
Which comes out of
nowhere. We were together once and then we separated.
We boned once, now we're no longer boning. That's what it comes down to. And it's like, it's a sudden shifts of roles for everybody. Like, the guy we knew was bad is now good for some reason. And that also happens at the same time. I feel like if the guy was bad that became good, motives were more clear, it wouldn't have been a big reveal. I feel like we should have known the whole time the black guy was a bad guy, and that the ex-girlfriend was a good guy.
Well, that's just racist.
Well, I feel like if we would have known that the entire time, the twist with that one girl being a bad guy would have been more impactful. But the story from that point on would be much more interesting because we know things that Tom Hanks doesn't. Because Tom Hanks has kind of lost his memory due to a lot of circumstances, which make no sense. Which is another twist that happens the same. All these twists are revealed at once. Another one that just comes out of nowhere.
They aren't given a chance to breathe.
Yeah, there's no moment where I'm like allowed to sit down and like think, like chew it all over. If things being smart is like revealing a bunch of stuff at once, no, it's actually kind of dumb.
See, there's a difference between turning the tables and pulling the rug out from under you. If you pull it out too fast, that's what she says. If you pull it out from somebody too fast, they're gonna fall right on their butt.
Yeah. Honestly, this movie had Shyamalan twists. There were Shyamalan twists that came out of nowhere and they had no explanation. There's so many of them that it's just kind of hard to follow.
It was a terrible analogy. Now that I think about it,
it was a terrible analogy. I tried to branch off it. I tried.
I'm sorry, folks. It's late. I can't do analogies.
Inferno isn't very good, and honestly, the endings. He saves the world. Ooh. There was no tension. Like, you knew he was going to save the world.
No, not really.
The only tension I felt was the very, very bitter end. When, like...
How did it end again?
Remember when it was already in the box, and the one guy comes up, tries to open it, and they both open it, and it was going down.
Like, just snap the guy's neck, man.
Because that's not how real life works. They were trying to be real life, except they totally weren't. And there was I felt a little bit of tension there, because it's just...
T-1000 going, man.
Yeah, it was just well shot at that point. Like, okay, I'm feeling something here. I got a little feeling going on. And then it was, like, instantly lost, because it ended like that. I'm like, oh, it's over now. Cool. Any tension that I would have felt if this would have continued is now gone, but all right.
I should clarify by the T-1000 comment that there is a bad officer or something.
She's not really an officer. She's disguised as an officer to get everybody's trust.
She's working for the villains or something, and she's shooting them down, and she survives all these crazy things. I was half expecting, because she's the one that...
And then falls through priceless art, which
she
made me
falls
cry.
to her death, and I was half expecting her to get up, dust herself off, and keep going like a T-1000.
She'd be like This girl gone through so much at that point that when she fell through like basically 5 stories, me and Mario are like, okay, she's getting up, right? Oh no, she's dead. Okay, cool.
Dun 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 dun
dun dun dun dun. dun. This movie's trash. Don't see it. Spoiler alert: Tom Hanks saved the day, and no one cared. Well, everybody, this has been another episode of Collectors Coalition. I'm one of your hosts, Christian Bean, and with me, as always, is my co-host and one of my best friends, Mario Bennese. I hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see you all next time.
I got nothing. Thank you for listening to Collectors Coalition, a Magnesium Studios production. If you like what you've heard, be sure to like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on iTunes. We're also available on PodOmatic and Soundcloud.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Collectors Coalition and on Twitter at Collect Coalition.
Stupid character limits.
If you want to write in, drop us a line at thecollectorscoalition@gmail.com. For exclusive footage, be sure to check out our YouTube channel. Just search Collectors Coalition.
And remember, stay nerdy, my friends.